Okay, I'm Phil Murray from White Flyer, National Sales Manager from Houston, Texas, and you're in the White Flyer booth here at the World Skeet Shooting Championships. What we have here is a variety of different targets that we sell, whether they be for skeet, trap, or for sporting clays. We'll sort of take a second or two to go through and describe some of them. This truly is not the full group of targets that we offer and all that, but we do have some here that I'll be able to explain to you. This, for example, here is what's called a mini target, and that's used in sporting clays, and it's 60 millimeters, whereas in American skeet or American trap you're shooting a 108 millimeter target, or in international style you're shooting a 110 millimeter target. This is the target, an orange dome target, the type that's being used here at the World Skeet Championships and also at the National Sporting Clays Championships. It's 108 millimeter. There's actually two varieties of White Flyer targets. We actually have 4 target plants in the United States, one in California, one in Missouri, one in Indiana, and one in Pennsylvania. And our plant that we have out in California, rather than have the golf ball dimples, has, if I can find it here, the slots. So basically it's the same target, but it has slots rather than golf balls but dimples. Question comes up, why do you use what about the dimples? What do they help? Well, same as a golf ball being hit, the dynamics and all that in the wind and stuff like that. So that was an idea that our folks came up with. This particular target, a little bit smaller, is a 90 millimeter target. It's called a MIDI. And this is used in sporting clays, and it's used in different applications, like a bird flying away from you, crossing, and it appears like it's getting smaller, it goes away from you. Again, this is a black colored one. It can be in different colors. It can be orange, it can be green, it could be white, orange, whatever. This particular target is a white target, 108 millimeter White Flyer target for skeet or trap. A lot of people will be used to shooting white when they shoot targets at night, because many gun clubs throw a full white target rather than this. This would be called a dome, because it's just to that point, to that first second lip, that you've got white, whereas a dome would be completely white, full would be white all the way around. This particular target, you can see the thinness of it, is called a battue. And a battue is used in sporting clays, and it's thrown on its side, and as it gets to the top, it turns and begins to fall. So this is called a battue. That's primarily sporting clays, not shot at skeet. Obviously, for many people, they'd be very happy that they're not shooting it at skeet. This would be an example of a green dome target, fully green. And again, White Flyer has those available in different areas of the country. A lot of people ask, well, what about the different colors? The reason for the different colors is based on the fact that the type of backgrounds you're shooting in. If you're shooting in trees and all that, you want to have an orange target. You wouldn't necessarily want to throw a green target. So a lot of time, the backgrounds predicate what type of color you'd want for your shooting. This particular target is called a flash target or a puff target. Now, any of you that have watched the Olympics from London earlier in the year will notice when Kimberly Rhodey won in her shoot-off round, they had these targets that smoked orange and stuff like that. Basically, these are called a flash target, or our particular target's called an orange crusher. And basically what it is that there's carpenter's chalk under this cellophane cover, so when it goes through the air and it's smoked, you're going to see this orange color out there. So what happens is it's good for TV and good for spectators. Primarily used in international style shooting. And last but not least, this is what's called an international target. This is what they shot. They didn't shoot our White Flyer brand in London at the Olympics, but basically it's got a little higher profile. It's a little bit bigger, 110 millimeter, goes up to 75 meters, distance much longer. It's a little bit harder, whereas the regular skeet or trap target, you're going to get big ink balls of smoke. You may not get it with this, but this is intended to be thrown faster and longer distances. And before I forget, this is everybody hears about the rabbit target. Well, this is what a rabbit target looks like. And it's basically this round, and you can see it's very strong in this area because it's thrown out and it bounces across the ground. Rabbit targets, they're hard to shoot, but they're a lot of fun to shoot. And you can get them in different colors, in the white, all black, orange, whatever. And that basically is about it.
Good. Thank you for the tour.
Okay.
Hi, I'm John Comerford, Assistant General Manager here at Krieghoff International. I'm just going to take you through one of the most popular things here at the World Skeet Shoot for us is our customers coming in to get their guns worked on in an annual service. Skeet shooters like to shoot and we like to service their guns. Come on in the back here, I'll introduce you to some of our gunsmiths. We're pretty caught up here this morning getting ready for our afternoon rush, but we bring our guns in, we stage them here. We start with our gunsmiths over here. You'll see this is Elmar.
Hello.
It's our head gunsmith and service manager, Don Bachman.
Hello.
This is Andy. And then if you spin around, Wolf's over here taking a call. When the guns come in, the gunsmiths work on them, clean them out, get them ready for the field, and hopefully some hundreds come out of them later this week. Thank you.
We are talking with Lal Threlkeld of Studio 74 in San Antonio, and for 13 years now, Lal has been capturing everyone's world shoot story in pictures. Lal photographs the shoot, and so we're going to talk with him a little bit about what he does. Lal, tell everyone what it is that you do at the World Shoot.
Well, at the World Shoot with 800 shooters, we use anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 photographers. We use graphic artists, plenty of equipment, 3 computers, up to 7 printers. We take pictures of them all on the line, shooting their gun. Then we do special appointments. We do montages telling the whole story where we combine multiple pictures. We always say on the high 8, if they hit it, we get it. And that's one of the most favorite pictures of everybody buying. And then we have many team squad pictures that we take. And everybody just likes to...
Now, we see you all over the place here, so we know you're shooting just about everybody that sets foot on this property this week, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Whether you're shooting or not.
Right.
And you never know when we're going to be popping up. We shoot dogs, babies, anything. Make a special family portrait. I'll go off site if you need to. It all depends on what you want. It's,
and we know that there's, especially as we look at your equipment, we know that there's a lot more to this than taking a photo.
Oh, yes.
That there's a lot of artistry involved at the computer. Tell us about some of the effects that you can produce and some of the things that you do at the computer after you've already shot the photo.
Well, we color correct every picture so it really looks vibrant. We can also turn them into paintings that look like Norman Rockwell paintings, Monet's, real soft looks. We can do watercolors. We have specialized software that we have that does all these things. That all our graphic artists are very highly trained.
And so when someone buys a photo from you or when they come by and order one, they actually take it home with them, don't they?
Oh, yes. Up to an 8x10 we can print here. But at this shoot, if you ordered a 16x20 and we made it today, I'll deliver it to you tomorrow.
That's
I have
great.
to take bigger sizes home on big printers, but we've done quite a few of those already at this shoot.
Now this is an interesting specialty that you come to these shoots because it's not just the World Shoot where you do this. You go to a lot of other shoots too, right? And this is a pretty interesting specialty. So how did you get started doing that?
Well, back in 2000, an advertising agency hired me to shoot 4 All-Americans sporting clay shooters, excuse me. And I came out here, and I'd never been here before, and I was using film. Digital was not really...
So these were the old days.
These were the old days. In the year 2000, it was 1999 is when it was. And I shot for the Browning All-Americans. and I was amazed at the carnival atmosphere and the people. There were over 2,000 people here at the National Sporting Clays Championships, and I saw what they were doing photography-wise, and I felt I could do a better job, and I handed Michael Hampton Jr. my card, and 6 months later he called me and said, "Do you want to do it?" And so the Southwestern Grand Trap shoot was my first one in 2000, and I went out there with one camera and one printer, almost got killed.
And you were in digital then?
Yes, I was in digital. Almost got shot because I didn't know where to stand, and shooters were very nice helping me and pointing.
There has to be some trick to that.
Yes, and so over the years we've refined our ways. We know where to stand out of the way, and just have gone. The biggest year we ever had, we did 25 shoots. Have pared back a little bit here. We're doing 15 to 20 gun shoots a year, and lots of pictures. And the kids really love it too. The moms of the 4-H, oh, that's
Right.
really big time.
Well, Lau, what you do contributes a lot to this event, and it really means a lot to the shooters and to the complex and to all of us who are here, so we thank you for that, and thank you for telling us about it.
Sure, thank you, Sherry. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, Gene.
Your white collar.
We have here, the glasses are designed so that they'll sit high in the face, keep them up out of sight when you're shooting.
Right?
The lenses are interchangeable so that you can have more than one lens color for different lighting conditions, different background conditions, whatever the situation might be, or different colors. So they interchange in and out real easily that way. Not everybody sees color the same way, so there's a lot of different colors for them to choose from to see what will help better to soften up the background and then get the orange clay or their target to stand out better against that background.
So how would I decide which color to buy for a day like this?
For a day like this, you would want to look at something, it's not real bright out, so you'd want to look at something kind of in a light medium tone. The rose tone here, it works real well to help soften up the green backgrounds, makes the orange stand out against it real well. If you have a lot of sky presentation, the bronze is also a real nice color for that. A lot of the skeet shooters really like the bronze because most of the presentation is against the sky.
Okay.
Everybody's a little bit different in how they perceive color, so what will work for you might not work for me, and then the next guy down the line might want something different completely still.
So these are not just samples, but I could actually come in at this shoot and buy a pair of glasses from you and pick out the lenses that I want?
Yeah, you can pick out the lenses you want. We have the frames on hand, we have lenses on hand, so we can do it that way. A good majority of our work is with prescription glasses, though. We do a lot of prescription eyewear. And so we have a lot of folks that will come into the shoot. They'll bring their prescription with them, bring it to me, I'll get it written up, I'll order it from the office, go overnight to put the prescription in so they can have it to shoot for the rest of the week.
Oh, wow. So I could actually get my prescription while I'm here this week and take it home with me.
Correct.
That's great.
So, and that's basically what we do. The frame, we have two different frame styles that are designed for shooting. This is the classic high wide. It's been around for a long time. It has a real narrow bridge on it. The lenses are real deep from top to bottom and wide, so it gives you a wide area for your peripheral vision, but it keeps them nice and high above the brow.
So for people who are not shooters, explain why they're high and wide.
When you're on the gun, you get down like this, and I'll be looking over the top of my glasses when I get on the gun. Most folks want to have that up here so they're looking through the better portion of that lens when they get on top of the gun and get down looking for the target.
Right.
Okay. That keeps everything up out of your line of sight. When we do a prescription lens, we'll move what's called the optical center, the best portion of that lens, up a little bit into the lens so that you'll have that in your line of sight when you're looking through it. Okay, so that as you drop the head. We have a different style here. This one's about 3 or 4 years old. It's more of a flat style. And it comes in a couple of different sizes. This will sit just a little bit lower, but it sits in a little bit closer to the face. Some folks like that feel a little better or like the look a little bit better, but it's designed so the lenses are interchangeable on it as well.
So if I wanted to buy a pair of glasses and get a frame and maybe 2 or 3 sets of lenses that would take me into most lighting conditions or that would equip me for most lighting conditions, what might I choose?
I would be looking at something maybe in a light yellow tone or a light orange tone for your real low light conditions, overcast skies, maybe in the evening or under the lights. Something in a kind of light medium tone for your average days like this when you don't have a lot of bright sun. And then maybe something in a darker tone like this that will give you some good protection against glare in the brighter sun. We also have the two colors that are available polarized, so folks that are real sensitive to the sun and glare is a problem, we have a polarized version of most of the lenses available also.
Okay.
We manufacture the frame in our shop in Phoenix. We do all the lens work in our shop in Phoenix, so everything's American made. We're right there. And
we're always happy to hear that.
Happy to hear that. Alrighty. Any other questions?
I think that covers it. What do you think, Sherry?
Did you get what you need? Okay,
Learned a whole lot.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Did I ask you the right questions?
You did good. You did good.